Tonight, river tragedy. Police recover the body of a swimmer who was swept away in the Yarra at Warrandyte. Vandals strike again, targeting another Captain Cook monument, this time in Fitzroy's Edinburgh Gardens. Sparks fly as thieves rob a Melton motorcycle dealership, the gang loading their loot onto a trailer. The opposition digs in, vowing to pause the Suburban rail loop as toxic soil concerns emerge. And Arina Sabalenka parties the night away after successfully defending her Australian Open crown.
This is Melbourne's 9 News with Dougal Beatty.
Good evening. The search for a swimmer who was swept away in rapids while taking a morning swim in the Yarra River has ended in tragedy. Police recovered the young man's body at Warrandyte after his panicked mates raised the alarm. Reid Butler reports.
A painstaking search along the banks of the Yarra, the bustling riverside community of Warrandyte, at the centre of a major emergency response. 4 mates went for a swim around 7 this morning. Only 3 came out. The Wanturna South man who drowned, just 23, swept away in fast-moving rapids. The river deceptively dangerous, according to locals.
Usually it's all right, but yeah, you can get caught up in tides unexpectedly. Yeah, my dog got taken once, so we got him, but sorry to hear about the guy that passed away that day.
Conditions also proved tough for search and rescue teams. Water police repeatedly needed to jump out of the boat and wade through the river, pulling the vessel with them. The area where the friends were swimming, near Osborne Road, is popular with locals, and today residents from properties backing onto the river joined the search. After crews pulled the body to the banks, the SES blocked the road with their truck, shielding the scene from witnesses and neighbours. Deaths in inland waterways are more common than beaches in Victoria. The majority of fatalities, men.
We've seen too many drownings that could have been avoided in our state in recent years. We want more money invested in life-saving and water safety right across our state.
While today's efforts were extensive, this was the worst possible outcome. A group of mates shattered and a family forced to deal with a tragic loss. Reid Butler, 9 News.
Another of Melbourne's Captain Cook monuments has been vandalised just days after 2 other statues were targeted. The stone monument and plaque in Fitzroy North's Edinburgh Gardens was knocked over and spray painted early today with the words "Cook the Colony" daubed in red. Police are investigating this latest incident and similar Australia Day Eve attacks on Captain Cook and Queen Victoria statues in St Kilda and the Botanic Gardens. A Melton motorcycle dealer has been left angry and frustrated after thieves stole tens of thousands of dollars worth of high-end and rare bikes. To make matters worse, the bumbling bandits caused serious damage to his premises and many other motorbikes they left behind. Here's crime reporter Gillian Lantouris.
A gang of brazen thieves with little regard for the law or even their own safety smashed their way into a motorbike shop using an angle grinder and a sledgehammer.
It's a lot of money, it's a lot of damage and a lot of heartache.
The bumbling crooks pulled up in this ute just before 5 this morning before ransacking the Melton Highway store.
They've come and done some research and worked out what units were where and knew what they wanted and took them.
The raid lasted just 6 minutes, but the bandits made off with 4 bikes worth more than $60,000 from Matt Jones's business of 15 years.
2 Honda CRF 450s, a 50th anniversary Kawasaki KX450 and a Husqvarna TE300. Off-road bikes which are obviously very easy to hide, don't need to be registered and very desirable.
Adding to the heartache, the clumsy thieves damaged a further 15 motorbikes.
They pushed some of these units over. And also these 3 as well.
Even the bikes taken during the heist sustained some damage. So if you're looking to buy a second-hand motorbike online and notice something suspicious, call police or you could end up with stolen goods.
It's shattering. We've got a great team here that we're a small family-owned business that work very hard.
Police are still searching for the thieves. Gillian Lantouris, 9 News.
The wife of one of the cyclists involved in the Beach Road hit runs has released a statement as her husband struggles to recover from life-changing back injuries. 51-year-old Aspendale man Glenn Gibson was the first of 2 riders deliberately run down. In the statement, Nancy Gibson says she thought he was going to die. I still can't get over that they thought it was funny. It's attempted murder, an adult crime, and should be treated as that. The other rider, a 72-year-old man, remains in the Alfred Hospital with spinal injuries. A 20-year-old Hamlin Heights man has suffered serious burns after a backyard fire burnt out of control. Police say the fire flared when petrol was poured onto it, burning the man's upper and lower body. Paramedics were called to the Lily Street home and treated him at the scene. He was then airlifted to the Alfred Hospital, where he's in a serious but stable condition with burns to more than 30% of his body. Now, Division just in, and it shows ugly scenes as Melbourne Victory fans allegedly attack their Sydney FC counterparts after Friday night's match at Amy Park. Division has just turned up on social media. It shows Sydney fans being chased and knocked to the ground in central Melbourne after a 1-1 draw. Police are investigating the violence, which also left 2 security guards injured. Opposition leader John Pesutto has threatened to put the brakes on the Suburban rail loop if he wins power. He's warned the government against signing any more contracts after new contaminated soil concerns were exposed. More from Stephanie Anderson.
There's big branding and big machinery, but below the surface of these big suburban rail loop sites, there's also contaminated soil.
Our expectations is it is less than we'd provisioned for.
According to documents released under Freedom of Information, more than 1 million cubic metres will be dug up during stage 1 of the project. The old Hyatt Gasworks in Cheltenham is among the highest risk spots, but after 3 years of soil-driven delays on the other side of town, the Treasurer says this time the approach is more conservative.
Having been experienced and learnt from the lessons of the Westgate Tunnel, I think people can have a fair degree of confidence that we've got this covered.
Not convincing enough for the Coalition, who's vowing to pull the pin if they win the next election.
We will pause and review. We will look at where we're at. By 2026, the project, according to the government, will have only just started. So we don't expect any more contracts to be signed, and no more should be signed.
He's come out swinging today, but Shadow Cabinet is actually yet to formally endorse John Pesutto's position. They'll meet tomorrow with the leader brushing off suggestions. He's yet to get all his colleagues on board this suburban rail stance.
I'm pretty confident that that decision will be formalised tomorrow. I have no concerns about that.
Stephanie Anderson, 9 News.
Well, Melbourne Park will crown a new champion tonight when rising Italian star Yannick Sinner takes aim at 3-time finalist Daniil Medvedev. Live now to Clint Stanaway, who's there for us. And Clint, it's the dawn of a new era.
It's exciting, isn't it, Dougal? Good evening. For so long it's been one of either Federer, Nadal, Djokovic even with the Australian Open trophy. Now we welcome either Yannick Sinner or Daniil Medvedev to that elite club. While Melbourne Park is heaving ahead of tonight's showdown, women's champion Aryna Sabalenka has reflected on the night of her life. More on that from Joshua Dorr.
The dazzling duo, Aryna and Daphne, reunited once again. The Queen of Melbourne Park parting with her crown for only a moment. Entertaining the cameras, even if her morning had been a little blurry.
We all had a little drink. Some of them had not a little drink, they had a lot.
Sabalenka's hotel room was turned into a dance floor. Is that your idea or someone else's?
I mean, of course it was my idea. I put them under pressure to make this video happen. We started the tournament with the dance and we finished the tournament with the dance.
And what a performance it was.
Sabalenka defends the title.
The World Number 2's dominant Australian Open campaign was capped off in the flawless final. She didn't lose a set all fortnight, but credited her playful team after joining tennis's greats as the 9th woman to go back-to-back.
It's not that easy to handle the pressure because we're having so much fun off the court, and just definitely something incredible, and it's definitely give me much more belief that I can do well on the Grand Slams.
Aussie Matt Ebden returned home to Perth with some excess luggage. An Australian men's doubles title, won with 43-year-old Indian partner Rohan Bopanna, to add to his Wimbledon trophy.
To win the night match final in Melbourne, I mean, I never even dreamt of it like that. It was better than I could have dreamt.
Joshua Dawn, 9 News.
When 9 News Melbourne returns, police disrupt a neo-Nazi boot camp led by a notorious white supremacist. Thick smoke blankets England's north as a huge fire rips through an empty building. Plus, the largest cruise ship ever built sets sail on its maiden voyage. A passenger is fighting for life after a car driven by a learner driver slammed into a tree at Cranbourne. Police say the 20-year-old learner lost control of the Holden sedan on Lesden Avenue. The car ran off the road and into a tree. He suffered only minor injuries, but the passenger, also in his 20s, was taken to hospital in a critical condition. Police have disrupted a neo-Nazi gathering in a park on Sydney's North Shore after concerned residents reported the group. Today's operation comes after they were intercepted on their way to an Australia Day event on Friday. 9 News understands the group, which includes white supremacist Thomas Sewell, rented a nearby scout hall yesterday, claiming it was for a birthday party. Low and middle income earners appear closer to securing a tax cut, with the federal opposition now weighing up supporting the new Stage 3 tax policy. The Prime Minister claims the plan would also help with prices at the checkout. Political editor Charles Croucher.
Peter Dutton with salmon producers in Tasmania, but not taking the bait on tax.
We'll do the figures as we're doing at the moment, and we'll make a decision and an announcement.
A far cry from this battle cry just a few days ago.
We will fight this legislation in the Parliament. We don't even know what it will look like.
The opposition tonight contemplating backing the tax changes for low and middle income earners, whilst criticising the package and Prime Minister.
This $28 billion stolen back from hard-working Australians over the next 10 years is a lifetime tax on aspiration.
I have said this is a change of our position, but it's a change of our position not driven by politics. It's driven by looking after people.
The changes designed to encourage mothers back into the workforce, hoping to ease the pressure on prices and businesses.
This will be an incentive for labour supply, and that is one of the things that has been a major issue.
The tax cuts won't begin until July, but with rents at record highs now, there's new pressure for more housing solutions in the budget. The Nationals tonight calling for tradies to be prioritised in immigration intakes.
We've got to be able to give some protections, ease back on immigration and allow people that are here the sanctity of a roof over their head.
Charles Croucher, 9 News.
Smoke has blanketed the heart of Liverpool in England's northwest as a fire tore through a 4-storey building that was under development. A major incident was declared in the city, with people told to avoid the area and nearby residents advised to close their windows and doors. The largest cruise liner in the world has departed Miami on its maiden voyage. 365 metres long, the Icon of the Seas can carry 7,600 passengers. The vessel has embarked on a week-long island-hopping voyage in the tropics. All right, let's head back to Melbourne Park now, and Clint Stanaway with sport.
What a night it is, Dougal. Thanks so much. The moment has finally arrived for two tennis guns, and there's a real Aussie flavour in both men's camps. One of them will join us live. Joseph rocks the Aussies as the second test goes right down to the wire, and Tom helps Vossi score his first touchdown of the year.
9 News, brought to you by Australia's #1 selling vehicle, Ford Ranger.
Welcome back. Yannick Sinner has certainly been the talk of Melbourne Park since he dethroned Novak Djokovic, but can he go all the way tonight with victory over Daniel Medvedev in the final? Johnny Millman joins me live. John, you spent a bit of time with Daniel this afternoon. You hit up with him.
Yeah,
how was he?
I got the call up to warm him up. Interestingly enough, he decided not to hit on the stadium courts. We were out on court 10 with the people. He is unbelievably relaxed. I'm telling you that. He was joking, he was laughing. Really relaxed. He's not expending any energy. He looks good, Daniel.
So it's a battle of the Aussies, really, because Leighton Hewitt was hitting up with Yannick Sinner. What are we expecting from Yannick tonight? Because he's on debut in a Grand Slam final.
There were questions if he had that belief after coming through Novak Djokovic, but I think he answered them. He was brilliant. he's going to be the one that plays the aggressive tennis. Daniil Medvedev, he likes to sit back deep and absorb. I think it's on Jannik Sinner's racket, and if he executes, I think the Italian might get the chocolates.
Who are you? So you're tipping Sinner?
I'm tipping Sinner. Sinner, chicken dinner.
And in terms of the battle between you and Leighton, there's not much on the line, is there?
I did say to Daniil, he better win that first set.
John Millman, good to see you tonight on the coverage. Thanks for joining us. Well, elsewhere at Melbourne Park, Jung Qing-Wen is determined to come back stronger after being thrashed in last night's women's final by Arina Sabalenka. The 21-year-old said she wasn't nervous, instead simply outplayed in her first major decider.
Maybe I have to work more on my tennis, also work more on my mental side, work more on myself to be able to through this moment. Because if you lose, there must be reason behind why you lose, and we have to try to figure out why.
Today on court, Suwei Shea won her second trophy of the week, the women's doubles title with Elise Mertens, to add to her mixed doubles crown. To the cricket, the second test is placed on an absolute knife's edge as we go to air tonight. West Indian quick Shamar Joseph has taken 6 wickets, but Steve Smith is holding out for Australia, who are currently 9 for 206, still needing 10 runs to rescue victory. Nat Yanides has the latest.
Shamar Joseph's summer looked over when he was struck by Mitchell Starc Yorker last night.
There's grave concern here for Shamar Joseph, and he's in all sorts of trouble.
Hours later, the youngster was back on the front foot.
Oh, bow, that's a ripper.
Free to bowl after being cleared of a broken toe, Joseph had 2 wickets in 2 balls.
Oh, it's King Bear for Travis Head.
Steve Smith, the only Aussie to offer any resistance.
As the pressure level goes up, Steve Smith answers with his first 50 as an opening batsman in Test cricket.
As his teammates fell under Joseph's spell.
Yes, he's done it! Shamar Joseph has bowled an absolute cracker.
The paceman had the visitors daring to dream.
This young fella's creating history here today, folks.
Mitchell Starc's explosive cameo came to an end on 21.
This one's up in the air. This should be taken. Coming across, it is.
Joseph had the second 5-wicket haul of his short career and was full of confidence.
Edge away, big catch, big wicket. Wow, what about this? He's got 6 for.
Windies legend Brian Lara liked what he saw. His side closing in on a famous victory.
There, a little under edge was there.
He's gone.
Nathan Lyon's on his way. He's walking off.
But with 1 wicket in hand and Smith still at the crease.
And that's all the way for 6. Remarkable.
It's anyone's game. Nat Yanides, 9 News.
Yes, I can tell you in the last few seconds, the West Indies have sealed victory by 8 runs. So that's a huge upset in the cricket world. Overseas now, Socceroos coach Graham Arnold has warned his side not to be complacent when they face world number 146 Indonesia in the Asian Cup round of 16 tonight.
You can't have any type of slip up in the mentality side of it. You've got to be prepared to play the best game of your life and go out there and get the job done, and that's what I expect tomorrow.
Injured duo Craig Goodwin and Mitch Duke both trained strongly and are expected to return to the side. Finally, in sport tonight, Carlton coach Michael Voss has his eye on a new recruit. NFL superstar Tom Brady, no less. He's in town and proved he's still got it, hitting the Blues coach lace out. Carlton's heavy hitters were quick to get 7-time Super Bowl champion into a Blues jumper as well. How good's that, Dougal? The tennis coming up right after the news. Can't wait for it.
Another massive night ahead. Clint, thank you. Well, time now to check in with Madeline Spark with the details on tonight's weather, and it'll be a beautiful evening. Maddie?
Well, Melbourne is really putting on a show, Dougal. It's looking absolutely gorgeous under blue skies. The maximum here came less than half an hour ago, so it's still sitting on 26 degrees. It should be 24 at 9 p.m. and 22 at midnight. And to make it even better, there'll be barely a breath of wind about. There's good news for Monday as well, and I'll have all the details next.
Nolene's hospital parking nightmare.
I couldn't believe it. Unbelievably disrespectful.
The disabled pensioner from Cranbourne.
And then I'm like, give me a break.
Fined while she was in emergency, but the council is showing no mercy.
Not an ounce of compassion.
A 9 News special investigation tomorrow.
Hello again from Melbourne Park. It's a beautiful evening after what's been a gorgeous summer's day. The city reached 26 degrees at 6 p.m. Geelong also peaked at 26 and it's currently 23. Epping warmed up to 27 this afternoon and most suburbs reached 25 or 26. In the north of the state, Mildura, Rutherglen and Wodonga all peaked at 31 degrees and the early cloud cleared, leaving us with sunny skies almost statewide. Brisbane recorded heavy rain overnight under oppressive conditions with feels-like temperatures not dropping below 33 degrees. Brisbane is expected to get another 45 millimetres of rain tomorrow. Melbourne was the coolest capital city today, but that title should go to Hobart tomorrow with a forecast top of 25 degrees. It'll be another sunny day across Victoria and it'll also be quite a bit warmer as well. The low to mid-30s through the north and mostly the high 20s and low 30s through the south, but cooler southerly breezes will gradually extend across the state. Most of Melbourne is forecast to dip to the mid-teens overnight, then Epping, Essendon and Tullamarine are heading for 30 degrees, the high 20s for most other suburbs and 25 at Ferny Creek. The southerly change will drop temperatures slightly and that should arrive in the early afternoon. There could be some fog around Geelong in the early morning, but then a sunny day and a top of 27. The city's heading down to 17 before warming up to 28. The southerly change means we'll have a slightly cooler Tuesday, 24 degrees, cloudy and 22 on Wednesday. It'll bounce back to 25 on Thursday, then down to 21 on Friday. But next weekend is looking like one of the best of the season, 27 on Saturday and 31 on Sunday. And Dougal, tonight Melbourne will be looking its picture-perfect best when the world tunes in to watch the men's final.
Very much looking forward to it. Thanks, Maddie. And that is 9 News for this Sunday. Stay with us now for the Australian Open men's final. Good night.